Hello everyone, my name is Braden and you're watching Multicultural channel. Today we are at the Leaf in Winnipeg at the Therapeutic Recreation Conference hosted by Recreation Manitoba. We will share with you the importance of it and how valuable it is for our Winnipeg city. So also we'll be discussing the challenges and those will be coming up shortly. So stay tuned because there's a lot to come. All right, welcome back. Here I am with Chris Edwards. He is a board member from Recreation Manitoba. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming today for the interview. So my first question is, why is it so important to have this conference here in Winnipeg?
I think as a local Winnipegger, I think we've over the last few years really recognized the importance of recreation in multiple capacities, and I think having more of those resources for local people to understand the importance of recreation and leisure programming is vital to our community.
So what kind of impact would this conference make for Winnipeg people?
I think giving some of our leaders in Recreation Manitoba, giving them the knowledge, some insight, some takeaways even, right? So sometimes we go to conferences or we go to sessions and it depends, you don't know what you're going to learn. But I think today we have a robust group of speakers today that I think everyone's going to be able to take something, and then they're going to take something. But the nice thing about recreation and leisure and the people in our field is that we're going to give that right back to our members in society, right? In varying capacities, right? Is that whether that's people in long-term care, whether that's people in accessing our recreation in community, whether that's through our leisure facilities, teaching people about even places like this at the Leaf. Like, this is a great venue, so people are even coming here and priming and seeing maybe this is somewhere that I would like to bring people that I serve.
So moving to our third question, what are the challenges that Winnipeg faces, and what kind of solutions do you think that this conference could bring for that?
Well, I think accessibility is a big one. I think we've all experienced that. I know, for a few years that my baseball and my hockey was sort of, stymied, and I wasn't able to access those things. So, and I think we can all speak to that of trying to find alternative measures, right? Like what other leisure programs are available. And when you have bringing of the minds together in the field, like as much as I try to encourage people that I serve to seek out leisure, there's still things that I'm not sure of, right? So I come and see some of my colleagues and already today, I mean, I'm early in the day and I've already I didn't consider that, I didn't even think about that, I didn't even know that was accessible to some people. So I'm already understanding that, and I think that's a big help to our members, is having that opportunity to share and to collaborate, and it trickles down to the people we serve.
So what is the most important solution, and what kind of goals do you think we'll achieve by the end of the day at conference here?
I think further understanding. I think that you're not alone. Sometimes it can be when you're a facilitator or where you're somebody that's providing services, sometimes you're the sole person that's assisting members in the community, and to understand that you're not alone, that there's a support system. And I think that we talk about that for people that we serve, how important it is for them to have a support system to make sure that their leisure and wellness needs are met. And I think that is just, if not, I don't want to say more important, but just as important as to the practitioner, right? That we need to make sure that we're, feeling supported, and we are feeling heard, and that we have the tools available to us to be able to disseminate that information to the people that we serve.
And finally, this is the last question we have for you today. So what will be all the topics discussed today?
Well, we're going to have some conversations about a little bit of therapeutic approach and the background of why we do what we do, and some techniques. Like I just finished a session on people in transitional care going back into community and providing them leisure resources and tools. So when they leave the facility, enter back into community, that they have everlasting leisure knowledge. So that they have, here's some things that you can access, but here's some tools that you'll have at your own leisure, because we're not able to be with you 24/7, so you have to make sure that you have those things accessible. Having some presentations today on resilience, our keynote speaker talking about challenges that we face in the healthcare system, but also as leaders in the healthcare system for leisure and wellness, understanding how to keep our mental wellness and abilities where they need to be. We all have our challenges in our work days, and it's no more prevalent than it is in healthcare, right? So sometimes people are really leaning on us to make sure that their days are as healthy and as well as possible. And recreation is a huge aspect, and I think people are really coming to terms and really understanding that more than ever. So this is a time where we really need to showcase that, and we really need to have the tools ourselves to be able to eloquate and say, this is the literature, but this is also like things that you're seeing, and people are like, oh, this makes sense. This for some people it's become common sense, but for a long time it wasn't, right? It was a very medical model, and we're at the forefront of sort of changing that perspective. This afternoon, some presentations on vicarious trauma. So again, sort of difficult situations of people that we're serving, and then of course ourselves as well, right? So just sort of having that balance of understanding where people are coming from and meeting them where they are, and acknowledging and respecting difficult situations that have come about in their lives, or institutions that have maybe not always been in their history what you'd say is a welcoming place perhaps, and making sure that we understand that, and how can we possibly change that perspective? How can we be a tool for change, right? And then finally, towards the end of the day, having understanding of play, right? Like the joy of play, again, that everlasting leisure, and that's the baseline of recreation. A lot of people see that play, and while we have there's lots of literature and understanding, and there's a lot of teaching. At the same time, we need to teach people about play, and that it's not always just about the goals. It's not just about structured leisure. You can have really sort of spontaneous leisure, and sometimes that's the most fun. Is like something just happened, and and I can't help but think about my childhood, and sometimes the best stories that I can remember and the most fun I had was something random happened with my friends, and I've built that. I've built those friends in, and then something happens and it's hilarious, or this happened and that was so much fun, and we didn't plan it, but we just ended up at this place, and we bowled and we did this, and I think sometimes understanding how important that is. People just take it for granted that it just happened, but defining it and saying like, no, like that was really really important in your life, and the fact that you remember these moments sometimes from 20, 30, 40 years ago shows how really beneficial like play and joy and being amongst people is really integral to our human existence. So in a long story arc of what we're doing today, I think that's a culmination of the event today. So
Thank you so much for your time today, Chris, and stay tuned everyone, because there's still some more to come. So being in a conference like this, you can achieve a lot of valuable information. Today I learned that whatever's harming you in the past doesn't mean that it should affect your life or your future. So you can make a decision to improve it or pass it, and still have a bright future. There's more coming by, so stay tuned. All right, and to continue with our interviews for today, I have Courtney joining us, and she is the president for the board of directors at Recreation Manitoba. Thank you so much, Courtney, for joining. So to go into our first question, I'd like to say, what do you think is the key takeaway for all the attendees and viewers watching today?
So we hope that attendees and delegates today will take away the message of feeling empowered. We hope that they're able to connect with other delegates here today, network, find inspiration, and take home new ideas to their workplace from today's conference.
So could you tell me a little bit more about the role that Recreation Manitoba has in Winnipeg and Manitoba?
So our role isn't just within Winnipeg, it's actually province-wide. So we service all of Manitoba, and we service all different types of recreation practitioners. So the people that operate facilities, the volunteers that work in facilities or help lead programs, our programmers, our facility managers, really any type of person that helps facilitate recreation is who we help serve. And we do that through our conferences like today and through other events and training workshops.
So what other training and education does Recreation Manitoba offer?
So we offer lots of facility-based training for kind of your operators that would operate facilities, so things like our aquatic courses, our management courses as well for operators, arena ice maintenance, that sort of thing. And we also host several different events for our recreation practitioners, such as the Therapeutic Recreation Conference like today. We also have an annual recreation conference that is open to all recreation practitioners and volunteers, and that is held annually in March.
So a question that crosses my mind is, in Winnipeg, we're a very diverse city. Lots of newcomers come in every year. So I was just wondering, is there anything that Recreation Manitoba can offer to help these newcomers?
So as Recreation Manitoba, we don't offer specific programming for newcomers, although we would be more than happy to connect you with the right recreation practitioner, either in your community or where you're working, where you're living, so that you can get connected to the proper recreation that is right for you.
So what's your advice then to get them more engaged with leisure?
So my recommendation would be, or my advice would be, to reach out to your local recreation professional, whether that be in a local arena, community center, any place that offers recreation opportunities. Connect with them. They'll be more than happy to kind of help work through any barriers that might exist, and they'll be happy to find a recreation solution that is perfect for you and your family.
Okay, so my final question today is, this conference is just going on for one day. So what can we do to learn more about Recreation Manitoba?
Yeah, so we have a ton to offer. I recommend that you check out our website, www.recreationmb.ca. You can also find us on socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and you'll find us at Recreation MB.
So thank you so much for your time today, Courtney. I really appreciate it. I do see one of our keynote speakers just behind the camera right now, so let's go and see what's going on there. And could you tell me a little bit about what your presentation was today?
I was asked to give the keynote at Recreation Manitoba's day conference. The title of my keynote was Resilience, Unleash Your Superpower. It's about learning to best harness our ability to develop resiliency as caring professionals in the medical arena and the caring professions. This is what we are all involved with, taking care of others. It comes with high demands because it's expected from us to not only be competent but be compassionate, and at the same time we have to maintain a professional distance, and that can become challenging, and often this comes at a high personal price. So it's so critical that we learn to become resilient as individuals, but also as a supportive community, as a work community.
And what do you think the attendees could take away from this?
Most of the attendees today work in long-term care. If they can take home with them the realization that in the first place, yes, it's important that I learn to take better care of myself, but it's equally important that we learn to take care of one another and we effectively support one another. And I gave them 5 C's, which I call can, care, community, choice, and commitment, to help us remember how we become more and better resilient individuals, but also as a group.
Now we reach the end of our episode. Thank you for watching. Also, thank you Recreation Manitoba and all the speakers in attendance for their valuable information. Well, I hope that the viewers get the information they're looking for, so please share and subscribe to our channel. My name is Braden, and I'll see you next time.